Over the years, I've been traveling around to give speech to seminars and people like yourself, and I find Singaporeans are a little bit special. Why usually Singaporeans are more passive, they are more shy. It can be done through a very simple experiment. How many of you are married? How many not married? The rest married don't dare to say. So this simple, or not married don't dare to say. So this simple experiment tells us that a lot of Singaporeans are usually very passive with a lot of things. A few years back when my wife was pregnant, and she has this sudden craving for crab. Crab? Singaporeans' favorite pastime, yeah? Chili crab. So I decided I want to cook for her. So I went to a market in Ang Mo Kio, and then I came across this store. And there were 3 baskets of crabs. The first basket was covered. Second one, third one, not covered. So I asked the auntie, hey, auntie, how come this crab must cover, these 2 don't need to cover? So, this one from Japan, must cover. This one, Sri Lanka crab, don't need to. The third one, local Singaporean crab, lagi don't need to cover. I said, why Japanese crab more expensive? No, because Japanese crab are just like Japanese. They are, they have a very strong teamwork. So if you don't cover, they will help each other to get out. Right? And I said, what about the Sri Lanka crab? She said, well, I'm not worried because Sri Lanka crab, right, when one try to escape, the rest try to pull them down. Right? So finally I asked what about local crab? Easy. Singaporean ma, anjong tancheng hu kyo. So we realized that because of our good system, a lot of us do not make passive preparation for our retirement, for all the risks that we are presented with. So that's why we're all here today. Now, how do I do this? Do I need to point? Oh, this is a laser pointer. Sorry, just not working. So I need to. Okay, so I need to go through the classic way of. Okay, it's a habit, yeah. So first of all, of course, disclaimer: today's presentation is for information only. It does not constitute any advice. Because everybody's situation is different. Of course, the last one is, you can seek advice from any of my guys outside, if you want to know more. Okay, so today's agenda. Why are we here today? We are all here today to learn. And also, I would like to congratulate all of you. Like what I said, Singaporeans are very passive. And today, you really make an effort on a Sunday. I know you guys have better things to do, but to come here to be more active in your portfolio management. Shall I give yourself a round of applause, please? Thank you. So I'm going to share with you today also, this thing about economic value. I want to share with you today also how can you protect your economic value? How do you retire with dignity? And of course, I can share with you a little bit, not as comprehensive as what Eden did, but some common investment mistake that we all make on a day-to-day basis and give you some solutions that you might want to consider. So recently, AIA did a nationwide survey, all right? And we had some very interesting findings. First of all, almost 6 in 10 Singaporeans know how much their family need to have, to cope when they pass away. This is a good news, That means every 10, 6 of you will say, hey, if I die, I know how much my family need. But of course, the other 4 will say, hey, won't die. So this is not a bad news. But the sad news is only 4 in every 10, admit that their family lifestyle will be the same. The rest of the 6, they say that, actually, when I die, I think my wife and my kid will suffer a little bit, but it's okay. And they think that they're okay to do it because the survey also includes this. All right. Another interesting finding is, this is through the MOH website, critical illness form the top cause of death for Singaporeans. All right. If you go to the website, you'll realize that cancer itself is already 25%. That means every one of us here, every 4 of us, one will, will have this. I'm also very sure that most of you, in fact, all of you would have known 1 or 2 other person that have been suffering from cancer. And the other findings is even more interesting. Close to 1 to 2 Singaporeans profess that it is acceptable for their spouse to remarry because they need to make up for the loss of income. All right, that means if I die, my wife marry another person, no problem. But because for the loss of income. I told this to my wife, and my wife tell me, if I die, you better go and find a richer wife. Because before I meet her, in fact now, she tells everybody, hey, I make my husband a millionaire. So my friend said, hey, how? Before he married me, he was a multi-millionaire. so that's why, if she goes away, I need to find a really rich wife. All right, so I'm going to share with you this little thing about economic value. I understand today we also have a lot of friends who are in your golden years. All right, but I believe that this will still apply to you or even your children. So please share this knowledge with them. Now, economic value, by Wikipedia, right, is the worth of a goods or service as determined by the market. All right, Investor World says that it's the value of an asset deriving from its ability to generate. But in my definition, I believe economic value is the aggregate of present or all potential future wages. What do I mean by that? That means now I'm making money. In the future, I'll be making money. And if I combine all this together, this is my value. And a lot of Singaporeans, they don't understand this economic value. I'm going to show you a simple illustration, all right? Let's say Liu. He's 30 years old now. He earns a monthly income of $4,000. And over the years, ideally, of course, if you don't job hop around, you can't achieve this, yeah? But to have a 5% increment in your pay, and assuming that he works until 60 years old, he will be earning $3.2 million. This is his economic value, all right, in the future. How many of you think that his economic value is protected? He has a $3.2 million insurance policy that's waiting for him. A lot of people, we do not realize this risk. All right, so losing economic value is a very painful thing. So what happens when Luke loses his economic value? There are actually 4 scenarios. All right, some are voluntarily, some are involuntarily. That means you don't volunteer to lose your economic value. First, Luke meets with a premature death. I've met many clients over the years. So when I tell clients about premature death, there are usually 2 main categories. One tells me that, "Marang, you see, I poor man won't die so easy." All right. Second category is believe that they will live on, they will die anytime tomorrow. And say, if I die, swallow, see to see, So these are the 2 categories of people. So when a premature death happens, your family will be the first one to suffer, right? We all know. Family will suffer emotional turmoil. Family will have to readjust their lifestyle as per our survey. Some family even have to sell their flat and other assets to downgrade and to cut expenses. This is the first scenario, that you lose your economic value totally. Now, second is what I call, you lose your value, but you still exist, 还善在人间, and that's another worst thing to happen. Why? Because if you lose your economic value, you can't make income, you need to engage in long-term daily nursing care, and your spouse may even need to stop work temporarily to take care of you. And of course, the family has to downgrade to raise money for long-term future. Now, third, if Liu has cancer, all right, that's the top cause. Every 4 Singaporeans, there'll be 1, right? And again, I spoke to many clients who tell me that it's not so easy. It cannot be me. It cannot be me. I don't know, some of you read the newspaper. Many years back, in USA, in a certain city, every day somebody got shot. Mysteriously, you go to a petrol kiosk, die. You go to a grocery, halfway, die. Anybody heard of this before? They call it the mysterious rifle shooter. All right. So this happened for many days. And during that 2 weeks, consistently, almost every day, this happened for 2-3 weeks, yeah? So in a city consisting of 1/million population, suddenly you see that the streets are empty. Nobody dare to go out. If it's you, would you go out? Yes or no? Unlikely. But there again, if you think about probability, 1 in a million, Toto boom boni kwe lah, correct or wrong? Why are they afraid? It's only 0.01% chance of dying, But that's what happens when it comes to things like that, when you know the truth. All right, and Singapore government is very good. They post there, 1 out of 4 that we will get. So a lot of people realize this or do not realize this, and they're not doing anything about it. If now I'm the rifleman, I think there's easily 600 of you here, right? 1 in 600 chance, not 1 in 4. If I take our gun suddenly, just like yesterday or the day before, right, in Manhattan, I take out a gun and I blindfold myself, I just walk around like that. So I say, hey, I promise you I only shoot one. I only shoot one person, okay? I just shoot. And I bang. But before I do that, one of my guys come in, hey, lay long, insurance. You know, just like the casino, I buy insurance, you know. $1, if you cannot shoot, we pay you $1,000. So if you put $1,000, we'll pay $1 million. How many of you will say, I want? There are 600 over of you, you know. So that is the reality of life. So in terms of cancer, we call it temporary loss of economic value. So you need to stop work for a while. You know, your family has to bear the medical costs, and it will take at least 3 to 5 years to recover, right, to go back to the workforce. Some of you may also say, hey, actually, cancer, I can still work. You know, I had a very sad case study. It's a SQ girl, all right? She, at quite a young age, she got cancer, all right? But good thing is first stage, all right? So she recovered after 6 months. And after 3 months, straight away, she went back flying. But I think due to the very hectic schedule and everything, you know, 2 years later, the cancer relapsed. And she didn't make it this time. One of my friends. So if she had a choice, would she want to go back to work? She wouldn't. She would want to just stay back, you know. Insurance company pay you like $500,000, you just relax, you know, and, you know, no stress. But that's what happened in life, right? Now, fourth, this belongs to the whole group of us here. You know, sometimes we voluntarily cut away the economic value because we need to retire, right? So this is the fourth scenario. When we retire, we will lose our economic value. But we can still preserve this economic value. How do we do it? You know, can I have a show of hand, please? Do you spend more money during weekend or weekday? Weekday is working, You know, weekend, all this. Weekday spend more money? Weekend? Weekend, okay, more. Do you spend more money during holidays or working? Holidays? Do you know in retirement, every day is holiday? Correct. So you will definitely spend a lot of money, and for all the seniors here, you know, you understand what I mean, right? But for the younger one, be prepared. If you think that retirement, being kailui, that's where you are wrong. And I'm going to show you some simple figures, you know, to show you how much is enough. Before I do that, Chris, Adam, they showed this average life expectancy. This is the latest, by the way. I pulled it out from the MOH website. Very accurate, okay? Male, 79.6 years. All right, on average, so some 85, some 75. Female, 84.3. All right, it is a well-known fact that female usually will live longer. All right, so of course some of my clients will say, "Unya bo, last year Qingming, I went to visit, offer prayer to my grandfather. He told me, he said, hey, I went around the tombstone, all born 1930s, died 1990 something one, you know. So everybody's live until 60 plus years only, leh." Yeah, I stunned, you know. I said, wow, I don't know how to answer that. Then I told him, of course, because those that live until 70, 80, 90, they're still around. They're not in the grave. What kind of logic, right? So we tell me, hey, what I'm saying is not true. But it is a fact. We are living longer and longer. And, you know, assuming retirement at age 65, you know I can see some of you are 40, 30 years old, some of you are 50, 55. Today, if we need $24,000, yeah, we all learn inflation, so I'm not going to repeat it. We will need $50,000 when we reach 65. $24,000 20 years ago can buy a Toyota Corolla. $50,000 now, QQ also cannot. Correct? This is inflation. And I assume now, I do a very simple assumption. All right? By the time you reach 65, assuming you have a lump sum, all right, you will continue to derive what we call reinvestment rate of return from that lump sum. And I'm assuming that that is equal to inflation. Yeah? Very safe, very conservative. Simple mathematics will tell you that we need 0.9 million, which Chris has shown us earlier. Most of you should have this by the time you reach 65. What if you don't have? That I'm going to share later. All right, so you need 0.9 million. All right? So if you realize that, for some of the younger ones here, oh, okay, I need to start saving. And assuming you can find something that gives you 4%, you need 20,000 a year. Save. You need to save 20,000 a year. And that is a lot of money. Right? Some of my younger clients also tell me, hey, actually, I don't need to spend so much money when I retire. I say, hey, retirement every day is holiday. No, I don't need. I can live minimally. So I have got three scenarios. All right, the first is what I call survivor. That means you merely exist in this world for the sake of existing. Everything in Chinese, my mother-in-law, before I got married, taught me a very simple word. Before we talking about wow, how much give to 一切从简. Everything goes simple. Wow, I'm so happy, when I hear that. So, for a very simple, merely survival in Singapore today, now assuming that your house is paid for, utilities easily $40 a month, all right? Because you're merely existing, so you watch free TV, no cable TV, no mobile phone, every day, most of the time eat at home, once in a while go outside, very happy, transport, take bus and MRT only, but if you got senior citizen card, you get discount, right? That's 55 or 65, by the way. Anybody know? 65. So if you retire 55, bo discount, huh? So personal hygiene. A lot of people forget this. Personal hygiene, you still need to cut your hair, right? Correct? You still need to buy all your whatever that you need to wear. Clothing, medical. Okay, and this furniture depreciation, interesting. Why $80? A lot of young people, because they're not paying for household, they didn't realize that we retire, right? You need to pay for things like that. They thought that when they retire, their TV 永遠不會壞的. Their fridge will go on forever. Correct? You understand what I'm trying to say, right? Your children, they thought that, wow, got magician, suddenly TV change, the aircon 是不會壞的. So if you put that in, it's $80 a month, actually, yeah? And then recreation, of course, $30 a month. I think every day one kopi or go and play chess or whatever. That's very minimal. And then overseas tour, 不用想啦. Maid don't need to think. Conservancy still have to pay, right? $30 very cheap already. Nowadays, they just raise up, by the way. And then miscellaneous, $50. So it's $700. $700 just to survive. All right? Normal. Okay, normal lifestyle, most Singaporean, all right? Utility 100, you don't opt for the ultimate package like Ija Porta and everything you have, $50 is enough. You can have a $40 simple plan, plus your home meals, everything, and then medical, you can afford to go for some twin if you crack your bone, and then furniture depreciation, of course, you want an LED TV, right? But still no maid, overseas tour every year go once, 2,400 塊 budget. Okay, you want to go 4 times, Malaysia, Thailand, boleh, all right? So conservative 80. So that is alone is 2,270. So was my assumption $2,000 a month realistic or not? For some of our senior people, if you really, really want to just live life, okay lah. Not super luxurious. But as you know, there's another group of people who don't expect to live like the rich, but really comfortable, but not super lah, okay comfortable. You look at it, right? Utilities 200. I suspect half of you, your monthly utilities bills above 200 because all have aircon nowadays, right? Oh, by the way, I forgot to say, survival means no aircon, fan only. So mobile phone, you can talk as much as you like. You subscribe for the StarHub full package, and then personal hygiene. You can have $400, and then you can own a car, and then recreation, very nice, $100. 1 week golf, 1 week spa, 1 week golf, 1 week spa, just nice. All right. Recreation can afford to go for tour. Blah, 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 maid you can have, private conservancy. So that comes up to $7,000. So if you need to spend $2,000 when you're 65, in today's dollar, you need to save almost 0.9 million. Imagine if you need to spend like that, what the kind of lifestyle, how much would you need? So, you don't need to do a calculation. I did it for you, yeah? So today, assuming that you're 40 years old, I'm just assuming, so 55 years old, if you retire, because of inflation, there'll be 3,000, all right? And you need $1 million, all right? And it's 4,000% per annum. So if you want to retire 55, all right? If you want to retire at 60, it's 3,006. Retire at 65 is 4,000. So what's the difference? So one of my younger clients asked me, hey, John, actually, I'm 40 now. I retire at 55. I need $1 million. I retire at 60. I need 996,000. I retire at 65, I need 900,000. Is there a great difference? Frankly, not much great difference, right? So you tell me, that I might as well retire at 55 years old. Correct. But we all forgot something. That is the amount of money you need, not the amount of money you have. All right, I'm 40. If I want to retire at 55, that means I need to save $4,000 a month. Xiong eh. 60,000, 2006. 65, 2007. So because of this funny thing called the time horizon and inflation, The later that you retire, the less you need to save. But actually, the lump sum needed is still the same. Okay, for some of you who are interested in $5,000, I can show you the illustration. Or you can snap this if you want to. Go and show your children, ask them to spend so much money next time, yeah? So, 55, if somebody 40 years old now want to retire at 55, or some of you who are 50 years old now, you want to retire at 65, because it's still 15 years time horizon, you need 2.6 million. All right, you need to save $10,000 a month. 60 years old, less young, 6,007. Retire at 65, $4,000. So in Singapore context, if you want to retire comfortably, very young. All right, and therefore, you have three choices in my definition. Number one, you save more lor, if you want to retire early. Number two, you retire later. And number three, what do? You do it differently. All right, you don't put into the normal, conventional, fixed D and all this. You've got to do it differently, like what all the speakers have shared today. All right? Do it differently, investment. But there are always common investment mistakes that we all make. And today, because of the limit of time, I'm going to share with you some of the common things that I've seen my client doing. I've been in the industry for almost 13 years. I know I don't look that old. I started working pretty young. So, first of all, no plan. What's the definition of no plan? Today, all of you came here. There are a lot of booths. So, somebody said, hey, this is good. And every time somebody tells you, okay, I get this. In the end, your whole plan is like a rojak. So, this is one of the first mistakes that a lot of people make. No plan. Number two, too short a time horizon. I've got clients who come to me and say, hey, John, this is a sum of money. Okay, I need an 8% return. 1 year time. I need the money. So, where to find? Hokkien also say, right, IP, ICME, IT, want to kun lopi, how to find? So, third, timing the market. Although Adam had taught us a very fantastic idea, but again, it is always very difficult to time the market, especially you have time horizon. Time horizon, do you know what I mean of time horizon? It means how long you wait for your money to come. It is a very personal thing. Everybody of you will have different time horizon. One day, last Sunday when I went to church, I asked my pastor, what is 10 million years to God? Pastor told me, 1 second. To God is only 1 second. So I asked him, what is $10 million to God? To God, it is just $1. So then I asked Pastor, if I pray to God and say, God, can you give me one of your $? Can or not? My pastor said, he was sure. He will say, sure, no problem, Jonathan. Wait a second. If you don't get a job, please ask the one next to you, all right? That means tan kuku lah, So another thing is ignoring risk appetite. We are all here to learn about investment, all right? There are many forms of investment. There are bonds, fixed income security, equities, all right, even land banking. So you must choose one that meets your risk appetite. Again, my own experience from my client. Some invested a sum of money, and then when every other day we'll call, hey, John, how's my fund doing? And then when the thing goes down, he says, hey, I want to go out. So he is choosing something, that is against him, although we advise him, hey, no, why can't do it? But when the real time comes, so it's very important for you to choose something that is according to your risk appetite. All right, letting emotion rule the process. Again, today we learn many different kind of investment technique. Ideally, we all know, right? Saying is easy. I'm sure many of you also can understand the scenario Adam showed earlier on. Buy, wow, sell, rightfully should double up, or while the trend is up, trend should buy. But we all have emotion, and emotion again is a very personal thing. Some of you that day, simseng boho, mode back, click, sell. So we are very. It's difficult for us to be disciplined, and emotion is the number one. In fact, through research, it's the number one thing that kills off a lot of investors. Emotion, all right. And then, of course, there's no rebalancing in your portfolio. You're overly weighted on equity, and that's one of the common mistakes made by a lot of investors. This is interesting. My mother always tell me, hey, John, my mother, So say that this one, this property can buy, that can do, So I tell my mother, no, you know what I mean? If the financial media is so good, they won't be selling newspaper already. So of course there are some truth in it, general knowledge. But you know, the thing about financial media is they always like to report, you know, the most popular of the month, right? And then by the time you know, like my mother, people like my mother, my father go inside, I will zao already. You know, by the time it reaches them, so there's another, actually, I don't know how to tell trend, you know. Adam, that trend is the fundamental. Mine is visual. When my auntie, my grandmother, my grandfather say, hey, let's go into this. Oh, okay, time to exit. Okay, so this is one trend that you learn today. Now, no advisor, again, one of the biggest mistake that investor make is no advisor. What do you mean by advisor? When you do investment, when you do portfolio planning, you need somebody to stay with you. You understand what I mean? Stay with you. Just like Tiger Woods. Okay? You need a coach. Everybody of us need a coach. Your coach can be your financial planner, can be your broker, but you need a coach that can take care of your overall portfolio, not only your investment portfolio. Because a coach not only help you to plan, not only help you to target, all right, but it will also help you to monitor your emotion. All right, when you want to dump, you bad mood at that time, you say, hey, relax, I'll buy you a coffee. You know, so it is important. So I hope all of you have found a coach, you know, a professional coach. All right, if you don't, you know, my booth is just outside. I've got a lot of coaches outside waiting for you guys. It's free, by the way. All right, so solution. I'm showing this solution just to show you, you know, what we can all do. I understand that some of you are almost reaching retirement. All right, unfortunately, you know, today's crowd is a bit mixed, and my topic is about preparing for retirement. But for some of you who are really interested, you know, to see what are the different buckets of investment you can put in, you can feel free to approach us later at the booth. You know, take one of the goodie bag. We have a very nice pen. All right, by the way, just need to fill in a form, and then we'll be able to tell you, you know, what we can offer. Because every one of you, the situation is different. Some want to leave a lot of money for the children. Some want to spend all the money and leave nothing for the children, right? So we have various kind of services and product to help you. But now I'm going to show you our flagship program. We call it Family First. All right, we have two. One is Family First Protect that is focused more on your protecting your economic value. All right, and then Family First Invest is to help you to make your money work harder for you. Now, Family First Protect, it is designed to give you very affordable cover. I give you an example. If today you are 33 years old, you are supporting your wife, your young children, your mother, you know, $9.35 a day. Okay, $9.35 a day. About the price of a meal for two. You can start off this coverage. I'm going to show you the coverage later, all right? Flexible coverage. You can even plan for your golden years. I'm going to show you the chart later. Okay. Next, the other one is Family First Invest. This is more focused on investment, and you can even do partial withdrawal along the way, like an annuity. While your money is working hard for you, there's a flexibility for you to withdraw money out on a monthly or even yearly basis. All right. And the good thing is for some of you, I know some of you say, yeah, insurance company must be insurance. You know, today the environment has changed. Right? Insurance companies do not do insurance alone. We do financial planning. We also help you to do your retirement. So we also have product that's catered to people who are what we call not so healthy. So if you're worried, hey, I'm not healthy, how? This is the plan for you. All right, because we do simplify underwriting. We just want to ask you one or two questions, simple, you know, and we will accept you in as long as you're willing to take us in. All right? Now, first scenario, if a male, single, age 30, all right, you put aside $550 a month. Not a lot of money, $18. It's a very, very amazing product. All right, $500 straight away. AIA will tell you we give you $500 coverage upon death, TPD. All right, that means you lose your economic value totally, or you lose it but you still exist. We even provide you $200,000 to cover for your temporary loss of economic value. All right, and we'll waive off a premium upon this happening. All right, besides able to do partial withdrawal along the way, by the time you know we retire at 65, you would have $500,000. And this is the benefit of starting young. So this message is for all our young friends here. All right? Now, of course, we all go through different stages. All right? I'm going to show you this. All right? Assuming that today your son, actually, you know, some of you who are in the golden years, you know, can show this to your children. At 29 years old, Edwin lives with his parent and is engaged to be married. Very typical Singaporean context. He decided to set aside $250 a month. Is it a lot of money? $250. Not a lot of money, yeah? But straight away, he get a $200,000 coverage. Straight away, because he's single, correct? So don't need so much coverage. Okay, started off with $200,000 coverage. Now, at age 33, has a baby, and then the wife said, hey, I don't want to work already. I want to take care of my children. So she became a homemaker. And Edwin now needs to support more people, correct? And in fact, our Family First Protect give you this flexibility. We know that you have a children, your wife don't want to work. By remaining the premium, that means still $250, no. Although got inflation, we don't charge you inflation, yeah? He's able to up his coverage to almost $500,000. Amazing, right? Just $250. All right? And then life goes on, so the family is quite well protected. At age 55, cannot retire, because you show my chart, right? Edwin realized he cannot retire at age 55. But he decides to slow down because the daughter graduated, So although he's still working, he decided to put more of his money into retirement, just like most of you who reach 55. Okay? You realize, actually I die, my son don't need so much money. I better put more of my money into investment. All right? So he decided to decrease his coverage to $180,000. Again, we allowed Edwin to do that. All right? By the time he reaches 62, he says, actually, I don't need any more coverage. I want money, money, money. All right? And he can choose to do that. And by the time he retires at $250 a month, he would have received $100,000 to $250,000, depend on the funds and the risk appetite. Amazing, right? So there are a lot of different products and services that we can offer to solve your problem. I'm just showing one illustration. So some of you may be curious, how do we achieve that? I'm going to show you AIA, our top 8 funds. A lot of people I spoke to, right, when they hear investment, wow, dangerous and all this, but take a look. All right, these are our top 8 funds. We have a fund, Regional Equity. All right, since launch, we have been having a 9% annualized return. All right, and for some of you who say, wow, I really don't want to take risks, because you see, I always believe you must spread your eggs in different baskets. You may invest in property, you may invest in stock, but I think managed fund is also a very good avenue because you have professionals that's 24 hours there helping you to look after your funds. And one of our most popular fund, especially for retirees, we have almost $1 billion, just Singapore alone, $1 billion. It's called Regional Fixed Income. It's a bond fund, okay, and if you see 1 year, 3 years since inception, by the way, disclaimer, past performance doesn't guarantee future performance, right? But there again, we can look at the consistency. Since launch, for the past 1 year, 3 years, in fact, if I show you past 1 month, 3 months, 5 years, all blue color. Why? Because it keeps going out. And on the average, since inception, we get 4.55%. So for somebody who put the money with us 3 years ago, 18% return. All right, this is a good alternative. Like, sometimes you need to exit the market, correct? If you are in equity, for us, this is a free thing, free fund switch. You switch here, switch there, we don't charge you a fund switching fee. All right? So if you think that you make good money and you want to exit, very simple, just switch over to here. Because if you switch back to the bank, you only earn 0.5%, but you switch it over here, look. 1 year you get 2.6, sometimes you get 6, sometimes you get 5. So on average, you will get 4.55%. Okay, so this is just to illustrate that investment does not necessarily mean very risky. All right? Now, what are the next steps? Basically, the whole financial needs process, what we establish is, number one, of course, we need to get to know you. All right, we need to define the relationship. We will gather data. And most important, we must find out your needs. Needs, to me, is a very important thing. We cannot just come to you and say, hey, you are suitable for this, you are suitable for that. Again, my wife, I think all of you are above 21, so I can say this joke. Many years back, I went, when I just got married with my wife, we went for a honeymoon, okay, in US. And US got this, wow, very nice place, very romantic, right? So at night, before we sleep, we drink some wine. So very romantic, we are both very happy, hug each other, cuddle, because, newlywed, right? So when I was feeling very excited, suddenly she said, stop. I said, why? I'm tired. I said, huh? So she said, hey, you're my husband, you must be in tune to my emotional needs. You know what? Okay. I said, okay, steady, sweet. So next day, we went shopping. All right, and US got this big shopping mall where you can buy a lot of branded at half the price, right? So I said, hey, darling, it's our honeymoon, no? Just pick lah. Wow, she was so happy. Real shopping cart, wow, choose this, choose that, choose this. Wow. And then when she approached the cashier, I told her, darling, my boy lah, I'm tired. She said, huh? See me? So I told her, you're my wife, leh. You must in tune to my financial needs. So I always tell this story to my guys because needs is a very important thing. If we cannot understand our needs, we cannot propose anything. And that's why all my guys are trained specifically in discovering your needs. All right? So after we meet you, we will analyze, evaluate, we'll develop and we'll present our recommendation to you. We will implement the recommendation, and most important of all, you need a coach. We will also help you to monitor a recommendation. All right? Now, in our company, we have this thing called Financial Health Review. All right? It's a very comprehensive report where we will look at what you have, what you don't have, what you want to have. We want to bridge your gap. And the good news is, for all of you, this service is free. That means if you meet up with any of my guys, go through our needs analysis, we will give you this report for free. And we will recommend you what you want to do next, okay? And it's your choice whether you want to choose to follow the recommendation. But at the end of the day, if you are curious about, what you can do in the future, feel free to go to our booth. As long as you fill in the thing, you say, hey, please call me. They will call you up and meet up with you. It's only a 30 to 45-minute session. We will go through your entire portfolio with you, all right? So, almost reaching the end. All right, so you can, if in case you need to contact me, although I'm not very active doing sales anymore, but I can always refer you very good coaches. This is my email, and this is my handphone. And I wish you best of luck in your future investment. Right, thank you very much.